In Northwest Bakersfield at Liberty High School is 23 ABC Sports Director Carrie Osep. She has more on how local coaches are reacting tonight to the governor's comments. Carrie?
Hi, Jess. There's been a lot of reaction, not only on social media, but also here around town from Governor Gavin Newsom's remarks. But as you mentioned, we wanted to get to the heart of the issue, and that would be bringing in a coach to talk about this. And so I'm bringing in one coach that I was also able to speak to almost a year ago when the shutdown first happened and he lost his spring sports season along with his athletes. And that would be the head coach of the Liberty track and field team, Ryan Renz. So Coach Renz, first off, thank you so much for joining me. Good to see you. Yeah. Kind of feels like we're in the same situation, right? Even though nearly a year removed.
Yeah, I think we were right here in the same spot about a year ago, and still kind of hoping for some answers at this point, hoping for something positive.
Yeah, and I want to start right there. So with the governor's remarks today, for most people it didn't sound like much was changed, but for others they heard a little bit of hope. I want to know for you, how do you feel at this moment of having hope that there will be some sort of high school sports season, not only for your team but for other athletes this school year?
Yeah, I just think it's so needed at this point. I mean, these kids want to do something. I don't think it matters what it is at this point. They want something. Parents want something for their kids. You've seen a lot of things going on around town and social media and whatnot, and I think it's just so needed. The fact that the governor mentioned track and field, specifically, that's exciting from our standpoint, and we're just hoping that something happens. Be it football, track, whatever. We want something to happen for the kids.
And as you mentioned right there, you're also an assistant coach with the football team here at Liberty. So that was the big talking point, and that's been the big talking point, is a lot of people want to see high school football back. So do you have a feeling if we're going to be able to get a football season in, as of course that clock is ticking down?
I mean, it's awful tough right now. I mean, we know we're kind of, that clock's ticking big time, and it's getting tougher and tougher to make that season happen. I mean, I think we're all optimistic as coaches, and we talk with our kids, on a daily basis, and we keep telling them to keep the hope. We hope something's going to happen. Coach Nixon tries to convey that to them every day, and that's all we can do at this point. We know it. Our district, their job is to keep us safe, and we're hoping that we get that opportunity to play when it is safe.
And I know that this has been super tough for the athletes. That's something we talked about last March when those seniors lost their season. But now we're looking at juniors that are missing that season as well as their senior year. But as a coach, how have you been able to try to motivate them and keep them inspired about hopefully getting a sports season with all of this uncertainty looming?
It's really tough. Obviously, the track and field, I don't see all those kids as much. I see some here and there. From the football perspective, I have them in a weight training class, so I see a lot of them in that class. We just try to keep telling what we know and be positive. I think we try to be real with them, and let them know we don't really know any answers at this point, more than what you see on the news and things like that. We're just hoping that we get the opportunity when people do think that it's safe and we can go. And it's hard to tell a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid when they're living for sports at this point and they want something to live for, and we don't have answers to give them away at this point.
Yeah, well, I want to say thank you so much for sharing your perspective, not only today, but obviously last March as well. And we hope you guys do get to see some kind of normalcy back in sports. But also along with today, I was able to speak to Kern High School District Stan Green, who oversees athletics. And he had a few words about the remarks from Governor Gavin Newsom. So basically, he was saying, like many people online, that although there were a lot of words used from the governor, there wasn't a plan in place, and that kind of takes away from some of the hope that we can see a season. And right now, the school district is waiting for a meeting in about 2 weeks to make a decision on if cross country could come back. That would be the first sport to come back in the purple tier in season 1. So we'll have an idea if we'll see any kind of sports this school year. But again, as we've been talking about, that clock is ticking as the school year is coming to its end quite soon, as we have been waiting for sports obviously since the beginning of the school year. So again, people holding on to hope like Coach Renz, but we'll get a chance to see what the school district will make a decision in the upcoming weeks. For now, live at Liberty High School, I'm Carrie Osep. Back to you, Jess.